Hey Campbell, happy Easter. Today I'm working, as you can tell, even though it's Easter. But I'm getting paid time and a half, which is good. The first mistake, though, is making me the only lot tech to work on Easter because, as you can see, I'm just in my car. Like, I got this thing uh, in front of my windshield so that they can't see in. But anyway, today's topic is going to be on motivation versus discipline, kind of. They're both important, but in the debate, I usually hear people favor discipline, and the line of reasoning being that when you harness discipline, it'll get you to force yourself to do things even when you don't want to do them, which is good. You need that, right? The problem with that I find is that there's kind of an assumption there that you don't want to do it, right? Which is true a lot of the time. A lot of the time you don't want to do it. So you do need that, and I'm not saying that's not important, but I feel like people dismiss motivation through that. So this is just going to be a little defense for motivation, I would say. Motivation takes a few different forms, right? So there's people you look up to, and they motivate you just by being good at what they do, and you say, oh, I want to be like them. So, for example, my biggest motivators personally, Batman, obviously is you know that he's just peak performance, uh, dedicated, right? So my motivation lies in someone who's dedicated, so that's good. Also, I would say Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's funny to say because I'm not ever trying to get that big, but just I watched that documentary called Pumping Iron that was all about him that came out a few years ago, and man, he really can make fitness seem like an art form. He's so good at it, and very good at describing it. But also, I'd say there's a YouTuber called Jaxblade. I'll actually link him down below just so that if anyone wants to, or if you want to check him out, he's pretty cool. Focuses on like cartoons and anime and relating fitness to them. Uh, then also Goku, just stuff like that. Those people I look up to. I want to be like them, and they help me shape who I want to be. That's motivation. Motivational speeches can be good. I mean, when you hear a motivational speech, you feel like it's great, but that's just in the moment. Uh, but really, the number one kind of motivation that I'm trying to defend here is if you've seen Inception, you remember that his wife had that safe in her head. It's like a safe in the house, and he replaces something with it, and it's Inception, right? So that key idea, that fundamental idea that is in her mind, leads to everything. I feel as if you need to put something in that safe that is related to fitness. So, for example, my brother Nick, he plays basketball all the time, and he's really good at it, and he's very fit. That's something that is like his number one hobby. He goes after, right? So for when he's out trying to maybe eat ice cream or pizza or Taco Bell or something, the idea of getting that satisfaction in the moment, it never outweighs the fact that he has a game on Saturday. He has to know, oh, I can't do this, I have to do this. Uh, for me personally, I don't really have something like that. You know what I mean? I just want it. I just want to be healthy and I want to be fit. And that doesn't really help. It doesn't, because at the end of the day, when someone wants to get pizza, the idea of putting that in my mouth and tasting it, and also I'm probably hungry at the time, it it outweighs the desire to be fit by a large margin, right? So uh, I would say if you don't have something that you can put up against temptation besides desire, because desire doesn't do it, then you're going to fail. And you could discipline yourself to the point where you won't fail, but then you're going to always be upset. You're always going to be like, man, I wish I could eat that food, but I can't. But like, what is it for? You have to have a reason. Reasons are important. And so that's why tomorrow I have off, and I actually have the next 3 days off, but I'm trying to go to Orlando one of those days. So tomorrow I'm going to take the day, do some stuff, But at one point, I'm going to try to go to that jiu-jitsu place that's by my apartment, just so that I can see if, I mean, all the ratings have been really good for the guy who works there, so I feel like it will be a beneficial thing for me. And if I could get into that, and the first class is free, by the way, so I'm not going to pass that up. But if I could get into that or something along those lines, then when I have pizza in my hand and I have jiu-jitsu in the other hand, maybe I can finally say, put the pizza down, you know, it's not worth it. That's motivation, and it's very important. I'll see you tomorrow, right? Better make a video tomorrow, or we have to come up with a punishment for not making a video. So I guess we'll talk about that. Happy Easter.